Hey everybody, Kat here. Welcome to my channel. Hope you're having a great day. Well, the time loop marches on and Charles' demise is nigh. Before we get started, I just want to say all of the information that I reference comes from the public domain. All thoughts and opinions are my own. I urge you to do your own research. So what are we talking about? What's the time loop? Well, if you look back at any of my previous videos regarding the time loop, what it is a historical overlay replay of historical events in our time, mirroring things that happened in the past. And in this example, it relates directly from the actions of Meghan and Harry to the past Duke and Duchess of Windsor. And it's really quite eerie. A lot of the similarities between the two couples, and only recently has the mainstream media been drawing those comparisons. I've been talking about it for almost a year, since I started this channel. And if you understand the story of the former King Edward, the Duke of Windsor, and after he abdicated, how he still was pushing the palace for special consideration, for money, for a position, for all the while him and Wallace were trying to set up an almost alternate court. And this is what Meghan and Harry are trying to do in California. They are trying to set up a separate court where they have influence. They're acting, with them, like everything is just a photo op. Every time she does something, it's just a photo op. But they're trying to mirror the actions of the legitimate royal family, which they are no longer a part of. And people are starting to see through it. From Netflix, from South Park, from his different appearances and interviews and Meghan's actions, people are starting to see what frauds they really are. But they still do have some pretty influential supporters to be able to maintain the kind of status that they have, even though they've fallen very far. But at this point, heading into the coronation, they're trying to make all kinds of demands on the king. First of all, they've gone ahead and christened so-called Lily as a princess, and really sort of stole that from Charles. Of course, yes, legally, the kids would be legally allowed to use the titles prince and princess, but that would have to be bestowed by the king. I don't think it's automatic that they're allowed to use them unless the king decrees it. So Meghan and Harry went ahead and preempted him, sort of pushed him into a corner, so that now, if he were to say no, they're incorrect, that's wrong, and take it away, they can again use the race card. Oh, look, he took the titles away. It's a racist thing. Well, just like in Edward and Wallace's day, where he was pushing for appeasement and pushing for special treatment for himself and Wallace, here's what Meghan and Harry are doing. Heading into the coronation, she wants to be there. She wants to sit beside Kate. She wants to be front and center. She wants her children, who are only 1 and 4, to attend the ceremony, which is going to be like 3-4 hours. No place for children. No place for children, especially children that have nothing to do with the goings-on. She wants some kind of special announcement, I guess, or something, regarding the fact that May 6th is also Archie's supposed birthday. So she, what are they supposed to do in the middle of the coronation? All stand up and sing happy birthday to Archie? I mean, her demands are ludicrous. But, Charles really dropped the ball, like I said in my last video, when she preempted him and named Lily a princess. All the Pellis did was very quickly update the line of succession and the titles on their website. And it's upset a lot of people. It's upset a lot of people. You got to remember, the monarchy only exists as long as the will of the people for it to exist continues. Just a second here. So, Charles having angered, Britons are so angry with Meghan and Harry for the way that they've treated the monarchy, treated the country, treated the public. Members of the Commonwealth, some of whom are sort of even neutral in their support of Charles. Since the Queen died, even here in Canada, they just did a poll the other day, and I don't know how exact or widespread, but they said so on the news, that about 70% of the people have kind of a, doesn't really matter attitude towards the monarchy here in Canada. Because let's face it, a member of the monarchy only shows up on our shores every few years. It's not something here that we live and breathe to the degree that they do in Great Britain. So, even amongst the Commonwealth, who were devoted to the Queen because she'd been around for so long, there is flagging support for Charles and the kind of fact that he's not really taking these two to task. He's not handling, if he can't, the attitude basically is, look, if he can't handle his own household, how is he supposed to rule and reign across Great Britain and the Commonwealth and do anything for the good of the people when for years the people have been screaming for something to be done about these two, and they just seem to keep steamrolling over the monarchy. So a lot of people are upset. There's things going on with Charles and Camilla. It's very interesting now, and I know, and even here, I think it was a couple of weeks ago. It was after the last time Camilla, it was reported that Camilla went to India to a wellness spa for a week, and everybody was saying, oh, you go, girl, and wellness spa, and isn't that great? And apparently she has been to this wellness spa several times over the last few years. It's one of her favorite rejuvenating destinations. However, alternative reporters were saying that it was not a wellness spa at all, but she was being treated for alcohol problems. Now, here in Canada, in North America, we do get reports on things that are never reported on in Britain. That news is suppressed. And I mean, I can give you lots of examples. And I mean, really, over the last 10 years, there has been continuing stories about Camilla's abuse of alcohol and her problems with it. And I mean, I don't know the veracity of this, but hang on. I've got a magazine here from just a week or so ago when these kinds of things were happening that, no, if I can find it, you know what? I won't even be able to find it. I thought it was here. I think I put it away. Anyway, it was the cover of a magazine, North American, supermarket tabloid magazine. Anyway, saying about her alcohol abuse. This is something we've heard a lot of. I don't know if it's true. Could just be ugly rumor. But the fact that we've heard things over and over and over again here. And it was even like a week and a half ago that I think it was Angela Levin on one of the shows came out and said, oh, there's been rumors of this and this is what she's doing. And they're absolutely not true. She went to a wellness spa in India. But, and that's supposed to make it all better. But even from a lefty point of view, there are some, and there's going to be a time when there are many that even look at that and say, that just strikes of her privilege to be able to spend thousands of dollars to fly halfway around the world to go to a wellness spa while Charles is spouting, all his green gobbledygook and climate change, but here she can do this 3 times a year, and because she's Queen Camilla, it's okay. I mean, that kind of hypocrisy, even if that were the case and it was a wellness spa, that kind of privileged hypocrisy is going to start to resonate with people, especially at the time of this financial crisis that seemingly the whole world is in. So that's not good. Charles has a lot on his plate. He, recently, the Irish protocols with the European Union regarding Brexit and the new talks they just had. They even called it the Windsor Accord or the Windsor talk, the Windsor something, directly stating Charles, and he got a lot of flack for getting involved directly in politics, which is something that the monarch is not supposed to be doing. But so there's a lot going on. Meghan and Harry continue to push for privilege as they plummet to oblivion. Charles is showing his weakness day by day and losing the confidence of people around the world, heading into, what are we now, 6-8 weeks away from the coronation? There's rumors that Charles will step away and he'll state some undisclosed, otherwise never heard before health issues as the reason why he would step away from the throne and William would accede. Hang on a minute. Now, I have said for a long time that I'm not exactly sure what it's going to take, but I don't think that Charles will ever reach his coronation. One thing I've mentioned in my videos, Life Imitating Art, is the movie that came out, I think it was 2017, King Charles III. And really, between the time loop and that movie, history really is repeating itself, and you can see, and it's very interesting, very interesting to see what happens. You know what they say, you should learn from history so you don't repeat it. But the lessons of the past haven't been bred in the bone because it's all happening right over again. We are looking at the free fall of Meghan and Harry now. They're going to fight back. They're going to scratch back for a time. They'll have some notoriety. But I really think they're on their way down, especially because, well, Charles is on his way out too. But once William takes the helm, he is going to clean house. He is going to set things right. There is going to be no coming back for Harry and Meghan after that. There's going to be no coming back for Charles. There's going to be no coming back for Andrew. William's going to clean house. It's going to lead to some very, very interesting times. I think we're 6 weeks away from fireworks, man. It's going to go down. And we, watching this as we are now, understanding the history of the past and seeing what we're seeing now, we are part of history playing out right in front of our eyes. So let's just keep watching, see what happens. If you like this video, hit the button, subscribe, share it. Leave me a comment. I'd love to know what you're thinking about all of this. And I can't wait to see what happens. Have a great day, everybody.